Hello and welcome. This is Groovy Gift Giving. My name is Theodore. For this video, I will be addressing the topic of gift exchange themes. Some groups I've exchanged with have done some cool group themes that have been very welcome adjustments in our gift exchanges over the last few years. But in recent years, my wife and I have started kind of taking our gift giving gift exchange themes to a next level, which I think is worth sharing. I think there's some pretty interesting things that we're doing that I think you might want to at least consider emulating to some degree. Now, what exactly am I talking about when I say gift exchange themes? Well, it's really simple actually. It's just when you agree to buy a certain type of gift during a gift exchange. And it really can be anything. But let's say, for example, if you call someone up when you're someone you know you're going to do a gift exchange with, and you suggest to them, hey, why don't we make one another gifts this year? That is a theme. When you establish to exchange gifts that are locally sourced, that is also a theme. When you agree to limit your spending to a certain amount, that also is a theme. It could also be if you agree to exchange gifts of jewelry or coffee mugs or t-shirts or jigsaw puzzles or whatever. When you agree to exchange a certain type of gift or under certain conditions, that is what I'm talking about when I say a theme. It's simply when you set terms of a gift exchange and each person sticks to giving gifts within that theme. Now, my family, in I'd say the last 10 years or so, one branch, I guess, one group or branch of my family, there are quite a few, we stopped doing, I guess, what would be more of a traditional gift exchange a few years back. No doubt in part because there weren't very many children, at least at this moment, there aren't many children in this particular group. For years and years, we had always done the thing where everybody buys a gift for every person. So we all end up with lots and lots of gifts. And at one point we decided to stop doing that. We thought it was causing unnecessary stress and an unnecessary financial burden during Christmas. So we started, instead of doing this thing where we all buy gifts for one another, we just started bringing one gift that fit a particular theme. One year we agreed to exchange socks, so everyone in this gift exchange just brought a good pair of socks to the gift exchange. Another year we agreed to bring something consumable, and then another year we did something same, also consumable, but a specific, I think it was jams or something one year. So we've done this for quite a few years now. Each year we all agree to buy something that's according to a certain theme, and it's not really for a particular person. We usually just play a game with those gifts after that. Sometimes the game is kind of a dirty Santa sort of thing. Other times it's where we sort of pass the gifts. You know, somebody reads something and we pass a gift. We play games where we're doing that kind of thing. We have a variety of games that we've done like this, which are really fun, and everyone ends up getting something that they actually could use, like a pair of socks, which are usually fun Christmassy socks usually, or something consumable. And then there's been some occasions where, you know, someone says, I'm allergic to this, so I can't eat this. So afterwards, we all end up getting something we want anyway. But it's a fun little exchange. I think it's really good. We do this to recognize that there's value in the experience of exchanging gifts. But since we are all a little bit older and we really don't rely on gifts as children often do, we still want to do the gift exchange, but we want to eliminate as much stress as possible. And we have fun with the gift exchange, not just by buying gifts that are fun and receiving gifts that are fun, but actually the exchange itself is pretty fun. So this is something we started doing a few years ago, and I highly recommend doing this, particularly in groups like this when everyone in the group is, you know, a little bit older and don't really want to give themselves any extra financial burden or are looking to eliminate areas of stress. This is a great gift exchange idea for this, and themes like this are really good. This is something I will go into a lot more when we get closer to the Christmas holiday, because I would recommend doing things like this because it's really fun, and I think especially if you have a large family with lots of siblings and lots of extended family, it gets out of control, the number of gifts that some people feel obligated to get. And I think having one group, at least one group, that just does a gift exchange like this with one theme and then with games is actually, I think, a very welcome change to a lot of people's holiday season. Now, another example of a theme, and this is kind of a weird one, but it's a really fun one to mention, I think, is something my wife did for a few years when she was in college. People she'd known in high school who were now off at college, when they came home during the Christmas season, started getting together on Christmas evening. Everyone would do their whole family things on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and then would get together with their friends from high school, and they would do a party and a gift exchange. The theme of the gift exchange was to buy something on your way to the party on Christmas. So since there aren't a lot of things open, particularly back then, there weren't many places open. Usually you were finding a random gas station that chose to be open on Christmas Day and trying to find something to give as a gift in that gas station. And so it really ended up being, she has lots of stories of the fun gift exchanges they would do of what they could actually find when they were trying to find something that was actually worthy of a gift. It wasn't just finding anything random, it was finding something that was a cool, fun gift, but something you had to find on Christmas Day, usually on your way to the party. Now, I think this is a really fun gift exchange, and I don't think it would be quite as meaningful today, because I've been noticing in the last few years that more and more things are open on Christmas Day. But even just a few years ago, there weren't many things open on Christmas Day. So this was a really fun, interesting gift exchange. It's something to consider doing. I guess depending on the area of the country you're in, or what country you're in, it might be a little bit different, but it's something that's kind of fun. It's sort of, I think, eliminates a little bit of stress, but also makes the gift exchange pretty interesting and unique. Now, on to my wife and the gift exchange themes that we have done over the past few years. This is something that we started doing to sort of make our gift exchanges a little bit more fun, a little bit more unique, a little bit more creative, but it actually has really enhanced some of the gifts I think we've been getting. I'm just going to mention a few from the last few years that I think are worth mentioning. During our anniversary in 2020, our anniversary happened pretty early in the lockdown, quarantine, pandemic, in the early days of the pandemic. And so we ended up wanting to do a gift exchange, but of course we were, locked down. So we decided to do a theme that was fun from home, was the theme. And it worked out really well. I got her a karaoke machine because she loves karaoke. I like it too, but it was something that was really, really a good fit for her. And she got me a dartboard and a kind of a collector's edition of Uno, which was my favorite game when I was a kid. And so it was a really fun little gift exchange that we did that I guess used a little bit of creativity, but it was also very useful since we, of course, were stuck in the house quite a bit in those early days. And so, yeah, this was one theme that we decided to do that was not just kind of a fun theme, but also was very useful for the time period. Over Christmas, we ended up doing one that was a little bit more abstract and creative. It was a pretty depressing time period, I'm sure. I'm sure for obvious reasons you all can relate to this and probably experience the same thing we did over the Christmas season last year. So what we decided to do was to do a theme, a gift exchange theme for Christmas last year. The theme was hope. Now we left this intentionally vague because we wanted to see what one another would do with the theme of hope in sort of an abstract sense, but see how that would fit for us with a gift exchange. And it was very interesting how we both interpreted this very differently, but ended up getting some really, really good gifts according to this theme. And what she did with my gifts is she got me things that were sort of artistically hopeful, I guess would be a good way to say that. She found something online. It was, I guess, an artist who does really cool, I don't even know how to describe them, artistic drawings of like song lyrics and stuff. She ordered some of these drawings, I guess, that were quotes from songs in one of my favorite movies and musicals, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And so I have those hanging up, and they're really cool and interesting, and again, artistic and fun and hopeful. And she also got me a journal, and what else? Oh, she made me a cross stitch, which I've mentioned before that she had started cross stitching during the pandemic, and that has resulted not just in her having a hobby that's really good, and is a good stress reliever for her, but it's also resulted in her having some cool gifts that are cross-stitched. She did some cross-stitching for me that I have displayed downstairs that are really fun and had hopeful quotations written on them. So that was what she ended up doing. That was how she interpreted hope as a gift theme for our Christmas gift exchange. I went in a entirely different direction, but still along the lines of hope. And that was, well, let me, for a second, she loves traveling. It's something she absolutely loves to do. She does lots of traveling under normal circumstances. And that was something that I knew was bumming her out in 2020, was that she wasn't really able to travel. And so what I did is I picked some hopeful gifts that I thought would be good, sort of give her hope that she would be able to travel again like we did in the past. So something she was planning before the pandemic started was she was trying to put together a trip to go on a whale watching tour, which would mean traveling to obviously someplace on the coast and then going on some whale watching tour. She's sort of obsessed with whales and orcas, and I'm not anti-whale or orca, but I get very boat sick, so she would probably have to go with someone else on on that leg of the trip. But anyway, that's off subject. So what I did is I researched what were the best things to bring with you when you go on a whale watching tour, and I found a pair of binoculars that were apparently the best kind of binoculars and the best brand of binoculars to bring on a whale watching tour. So I bought those for her and gave those to her as a gift, as a hopeful, I guess, message of you will be able to go on this whale watching tour eventually once this thing is behind us. Along the same lines, I got her something else, which is a little hard to describe. It was a box made of glass and wood, and it sort of had a slot on the top of it, and it is a thing to display as like a kind of a artistic display, but the slot on top is for dropping concert or theater tickets in, and it's sort of a fun reminder of what shows you've seen, but also again it's something to display as a sort of art, has sort of an artistic value to it as well. And so I did this because another thing that she really likes to do when we both very much like to do when we are able to travel freely is go to New York and see lots of Broadway shows. So this was sort of another little message of we will be able to go do this, and this is something for you that we can start filling up again once the pandemic is behind us and we can actually start going back to New York and traveling and watching Broadway shows. This is, you can display your tickets that you'll have in the future in this box. So again, this is one of the most interesting ones we've done, and I really think this was not just a good theme, not just a fun theme that made the gift exchange very fun for both of us, and we got really good gifts, and we were able to be really creative and interesting in this presentation. But it also offered us both some hope in a very meaningful way at a time that was understandably very depressing. The last one I'll mention is maybe the weirdest one we've done. Maybe not the weirdest, but a really weird one we've done that was intended to be funny, but it had some value to it as well. But last Valentine's Day, we decided to do a gift exchange that was getting one another unromantic gifts. Specifically, intentionally unromantic gifts, but gifts that we nonetheless would very much enjoy having. So that was the theme we decided to go with. I can't even remember the conversation that started this theme, but we decided to go with this thing, and it was actually a very, very interesting gift exchange. She got me a peanut butter spreading knife. I ridiculously like peanut butter. It's a thing with me, and it's maybe a little out of control, but I do like peanut butter. And she got me this. I should have brought it with me. I don't have it on me right now, but I use it almost every day now. It's really long and sturdy, and you can stir, the peanut butter that has the oil on top, you can stir those up really, really well. And then it's, really good for spreading as well. So this is what she got for me. It was a sort of high-end peanut butter spreading knife, which was very unromantic, but actually something I very much enjoyed. And like I said, I use it just about every day. But I got her something that's arguably even less romantic than that. She had done something to her shoulder in December or January and was having to heat her shoulder all the time. And the heat pad that she had, that she was using to apply heat, was just sort of a flat mat that was really difficult for her to apply. You had to stay in a very specific and sort of annoying, awkward position to apply heat. And what I got her was a heat pad that sort of affixed to her shoulder, and you could even walk around with it and everything, so that she could actually do this and it wasn't such a constraint. Like I said, very unromantic, intentionally unromantic, but it actually ended up, she used it, not using it so much anymore because her shoulders gotten better, but it was something that was a very welcome, a welcome gift for her, and she found very useful. So I don't know, that one's a little bit, I think, unique to us. Maybe somebody else would be able to use that theme and think it's funny. Some people might actually not like that. It's just, we're kind of weird and we like to do funny, interesting gifts like that. So that's another example of the type of themes we've done. Like I said, we've done many more than that, but these are 3 that I thought would be worth mentioning in this video. So a few other ideas and examples of gift exchange themes that you might consider. I've mentioned before the gift exchange theme that I did with the coworker, where we exchanged tacky touristy gifts. I think that was a really fun thing to do. It kind of added a little bit more to both of our vacations, and we ended up getting I've shown this before, but these little things, we ended up getting one another the exact same thing, just the one I got him was New York themed, and the one he got me is Key West themed. Kind of a fun little weird little gift exchange that we did. In the video I did on gifts not having to be expensive, I mentioned some themes that were specifically about buying gifts that weren't very costly, and themes that you can use that will yield inexpensive gifts that can be fun and interesting to do as well. You can do some, I think specifically, you could just say, like, we're only going to get one another gifts that are $5 or $2, or you could try the no-dollar gift exchanges, even though those are obviously very creative and can be really fun, and I've done those before that have been really good. But I think a lot of times you end up having to cheat a little bit, or sort of like pretend that something didn't cost anything when it actually did. I don't know. Those are fun, but I think you, like I said, it's a little bit different. But I think keeping things to a really low and expensive mark can be a good gift exchange theme and can be really fun and creative. I think if you do something that sort of yields itself to a fun gift exchange, where you have to go to some place like a thrift store or some other place where you can get secondhand inexpensive items, I think that can be a really good idea. If you want to do a theme that's, say, we're going to exchange gifts from the 80s or exchange gifts from the 90s, or maybe I'm going to get you something from your teen years, something like that can be really fun and interesting, and it could also yield itself to being really inexpensive. And then, of course, I love doing gift exchanges where you make gifts for one another. I think that's really fun, creative, and interesting. If you don't happen to have any skills that are good for making gifts, I think it's not really much of an excuse anymore, especially with YouTube, where you can go find an endless number of videos of little skills you can pick up. The possibilities really are endless when it comes to themes. It's all about fun, interesting, and creative ways to show that you hear someone, you see them, you appreciate them, and here's my proof. I am curious what gift exchanges that you all have used in the past, or perhaps when you're planning to use in an upcoming holiday shopping season. Comment below with your themes or ideas of themes, and let's get some dialogue going for how to have fun and creative and perhaps inexpensive gift exchanges this holiday season. And that's all for this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my upcoming videos. Thank you.